young children, young black children in particular, there's videos getting posted of them reacting and being so happy that she's black.
What blasphemy did she just say?
You can't be that girl.
Why is it not the real one?
Dishonor.
It's not because like Ariel's white, not brown. Like, why would it be a movie like that? And Ariel's his mom, not rated.
And being so happy that she's black.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
There's a new 40-minute interview. 40 minutes of Rachel Zegler and Halle Bailey talking on Variety. And here I am, not minding my own business. I watched 40 minutes, the full thing of that interview, so that you don't have to waste your time. And in this video, I'm going to be doing a bit of a breakdown, discussing why this interview is remarkably manipulative. It's written like a movie, but with no character arc, no story arc, and basically just plot points. You can tell the script as it was being written and what they had to nail and say to try and make Rachel Zegler look good in the eyes of the public. But no. Oh, no. It did not work on me, and as you can see from the dislike ratio, it did not work on a lot of people. So let's talk about it. When the interview begins, the way it's edited, the opening basically is Rachel Zegler trying to be like, oh my God, I'm so adorable and likable. Guys like me.
On Twitter, you had posted, like, there's the sweetest picture of you in, like, the Snow White costume. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so annoying. No, I'm the same way. It's fine.
That scene was put there purposely when the interview was being edited to try and make her look all quirky and nice. But we've seen your true colors, lady.
I'm a narcissist.
When the interview actually begins now in chronological order, it starts basically with the question of who is Halle Bailey? Who is Halle Bailey? The reason why I believe they started the interview like this is because, well, it's a technique of trying to get the trust of the normies. I don't know why anyone would click the interview and not know who Halle Bailey is, but basically the interview begins with who is Halle Bailey, showing her work in The Little Mermaid, basically her acting career. There's a movie that she did called The Color Purple, which I haven't watched, but now I know thanks to this interview. This is a classic Disney technique. You remember in Avengers Endgame when Thor calls his hammer, and then Captain Marvel is standing right in front of him and she doesn't flinch, and then Thor is like, I like this one. Yeah, that's basically what Disney does nowadays. Is they basically have one likable person tell the audience what they should think of an unlikable person. And there's this part where Halle Bailey says, I watched The Hunger Games, guys. I loved it so much. You should go watch it too.
And I saw Hunger Games, woo, which was so amazing. Yesterday I was watching the film and I was in tears every time you opened your mouth to sing.
This is just basically Halle Bailey's technique of trying to be social proof that, hey, I like the movie, then dear general audience, you should go and watch Rachel Zegler's awful movie that is definitely bombing at the box office. Then the next part of the interview it goes to who is Rachel Zegler. They begin discussing Hunger Games and fan pressure to try and, the way Rachel Zegler has been under fan pressure to try and do these movies that have a large fan base like Snow White and The Hunger Games. I like the part where she basically says, we both have musicals, so girl, we are so the same.
I'm in disbelief that you've got 2 musicals this year.
Yeah. You too? I mean,
yeah,
Snow White?
Yeah, we did that.
You see close-up shots of Rachel Zegler acting like she's worried because Halle Bailey starts talking about the way when she was singing for The Little Mermaid, she was experiencing vocal strain and the chlorine from the pool was disturbing her and stuff. And I'm like, these close-up shots are just basically, it's now the anti-Captain Marvel strategy. Instead of having someone who's stoic, we have close-up shots of her being like, oh, you poor baby.
Yeah. Weird.
There's this one part where Halle says, she now begins talking about fan backlash, right? And then she starts saying, guys, we're actors. I get hurt. We are actors. I get hurt when my cat doesn't even want to sit next to me. I have feelings. And Rachel is basically like, samesies, girl.
We're actors too. We're actors. Like, hello, I get my feelings hurt if my cat doesn't want to sit next to me. Like, literally.
Halle begins saying how she gets mad and she experiences that fan backlash online, and we're human, we get angry too. That's basically what she's trying to say. This is basically the setup now of trying to contrast her and Rachel, because literally Hailey says that Rachel handles fan backlash properly and that she handles it with grace.
The way you are just so graceful and respond and it's just the most beautiful thing to see.
And I'm pretty sure she does not handle it with grace. I'm pretty sure Rachel Zegler has tweeted some really awful stuff online. So this is just the interview technique of trying to make her seem likable and sort of absolve her of what she has done in the past. And this is now where they move into the part of the interview that I found to be a huge discrepancy. The discrepancy is that these two ladies, yes, they've experienced criticism. They have experienced criticism, but they experienced criticism for different things. Halle Bailey experienced criticism because of her being a black chick being cast for a white role. It's not the same with Rachel Zegler. Yes, I know Rachel Zegler had the whole she's Latina, blah, 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 and therefore she can't play Snow White, but Rachel Zegler has had terrible, terrible videos of her saying a lot of awful things about her co-star, saying that, the prince might have all his scenes cut.
It's Hollywood, baby.
There's a part she even says she's a narcissist. Yeah, there's a part where she says it's Hollywood, baby, and the prince is stalking Snow White, all these terrible things. So
She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
For 5 minutes, could you not be yourself? For 5 minutes!
Rachel Zegler's criticisms come from what she has said, how abrasive she comes off and insensitive and rude, while Halle, she's fine, she's okay, nobody has any issues with her. It's just that the Little Mermaid is not black. Halle Bailey begins talking about the color purple. This entire section of this color purple section of the interview is basically yay women, yay women, talking about women in movies. There's a part where she talks about chocolate children. So basically now we're talking about race. Then she begins talking about representation, how when people look at her, black girls look at her, they see themselves in her. And I'm like, this is exactly the reason why we hate your movies. not Halle Bailey specifically, but Disney movies. In that nowadays it's more about the agenda, and we need characters who are black so that black people can see themselves in these characters. And I'm like, that's the reason why we hate your movies. Stop with the pandering. Stop it. We can enjoy movies without having to bring in the whole, if you're black, you need to see a black person on screen to relate to. And all of that part about the color purple stuff was just to segue into Latina Snow White and the topic about race. Rachel Zegler starts talking about how she didn't disrespect this. She didn't disrespect the source material. She actually loves the source material. She loves the Snow White, which is contradictory to what she said next to I think Gal Gadot in like 2 interviews.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
And then Halle Bailey says what was being said in the intro about Rachel Zegler posting a cute photo of herself on Twitter. You can see there's this like part where I froze the interview and you can see Rachel Zegler's face. She's basically like, girl, I know we are bullshitting. I know we're saying a lot of bullshit in this interview, but sell it. Keep selling it, because this is the part where I fucked up. You know what I said about the original source material. You can see her face. She's like, girl, you better sell this shit. We're trying to sell this lie to these people. And then Rachel Zegler tries to be funny and show empathy. She tries to show how she's a fan of Disney and the Little Mermaid. Rachel says to Hailey, oh, you two look so good together.
So beautiful. And the two of you are so beautiful together in that movie.
Hell no. To the no, 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 yeah, to the no.
And it's actually at this point that I noticed there's a bit of like color coordination here. I don't know if you noticed this, but Rachel is in black and Halle is in white, which is basically sort of, I think it's meant to be like sort of like unconscious symbolism of how black actors can play white roles and white actors can play black roles. Also, I'm assuming it was meant to be like a sort of subconscious symbolism of like the yin and yang, how these two girls complement each other and they're like sisters. Like you can see the manipulation throughout the entire interview. The interview comes to a close. They start talking about how Rachel is a great actor, how she learned so much while doing the Hunger Games, how she had to learn about holding snakes, and how she's putting in so much effort. There's a part where she said she did 95% of her own stunts.
That was styrofoam rubble, thank God.
Oh, wow. It looked so
But
real.
it was all in heels and all like real. I did 95% of my own stunts.
And I was wondering, what do you mean 95% of your own stunts? Do they include running away and falling? I'm like, what are you talking about, girl? This interview, when I was just watching it, I was just like, it's just PR control to try and save Rachel's image, but the damage is already done. We can already see the manipulation. It won't work. The dislike ratio is already saying it all. If you want to go watch it, it's 40 minutes of pain and torture. But that was basically my analysis of what I saw in that interview. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to smash like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the interview if you saw it yourself. I saw the top comment in the comments saying that this is Disney's best fictional work yet. I agree. Getting those two ladies to read that script and, play off each other was magnificent. I'll see you later.